Welcome, everybody. Oh, I see Andy. There's our other feline mascot. Oh, so handsome. Is Griffin around, Tony? He's in the back. All right, maybe he'll take part two. There he is, looking outside. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'm gonna turn on screen sharing here. And we'll look at some slides. We're meeting to work in our grimoire again. Grimoire, a magician's manual for invoking demons. So let's invoke some demons today, or what I plan on invoking is the divine. Because this is really a sacred book. It's a sacred practice. We're going to have fun, but it's still sacred. We make it sacred by adding special practices into what we're doing to make it holy. And we're going to infuse our books with what's holy to us. And then what happens is, before you know it, you had a cookbook, and now it not only holds the divine, but the book becomes divine. We can talk about that later among us. I don't know if you're starting to feel, I am, that my book is really special to me. And why do we do this? The more we recognize our imaginal realm, the holy, the sacred, and our voices, our individual voices, and that everything is of the divine. The entire world is speaking to us. Everything changes at that point. And now we're bringing the divine into our everyday, our every single day. Here's a painting that I love by Remedios Varo. She's a buddy, lifelong best friend of Leonard Carrington. And she has painted, her art is all about her imaginal realm. So she brings the divine into all of her paintings. So here she's got the moon. Are we inside? Are we outside? Are we looking through the canopy? The canopy lets the moon come down into that vessel there. So just take a minute, look at the painting if you can, and see if you can put yourself into that scenery. See if you can you feel the moon? Surround yourself in that, what it looks like, what it feels like when you look up at the moon and it's dark. You feel some cool air on your face, and maybe it's a little bit misty outside. So that's what we're doing, is we're bringing some of these feelings that we have of other places, the other world, and we're putting them into our books. Here's another one of hers. She paints the moon a lot, and clearly she has a deep friendship with the moon. She's feeding the moon, and the moon is inside her house, in a cage. So what is she saying? Does she wish that the moon was always with her? And then on the right is, on the left is the close-up, and on the right is the full painting. It's hard to, she's mixed the world so thoroughly. she's feeding the moon with this recipe that that's like a thing that my mom used to make hash with, um, that's coming from the stars, stardust, and she's feeding it back to the moon. And then this little building that she's in is in the cosmos. So she's really mixed up the realities. And and for me, I forget that the moon is however many millions of miles away, and it's a cold rock made of these minerals. And what I remember is that I can hold the moon and touch the moon and feed the moon if I go there in my imagination. So that's what I'm hoping our books will do for us. They'll mix things up and they'll shape shift, and we can slip around time and give us access to our magic simply by picking up our book and opening a page, or not, just by picking up the book. We've talked about this before. These are some pictures that I took from the exhibit book that I got from the Medieval Women show that I went to in London. And these books were about their everyday life. And so here's this gorgeous illuminated book, and it's highlighting birthing tools, which is so medical, pretty medieval, it looks like. But they've made it beautiful. And there's gold on this page. It's hard to see. Um, but a lot of the metal was painted with gold leaf. So you can put whatever you want in your book. Here is a page all about a family tree. And you see how they've got it's an interesting way to do it with the loops and the knots, and just the headshot. I thought that was pretty clever. Um, this is an Italian book created by a girl who was 14 years old when she created this. And this is her treatise on old age. So how did a 14-year-old decide that's what she cares about? So this came from 1458, such a long time ago. You can see on the left there, that's the real art, a page from the book. And then they did a close-up on the right-hand side. So this is telling a visual story. So it's a moment in time of the fall of Tripoli. And this book was painted in 1289. It's just astonishing to me that they still existed. They're such treasures. So don't think that any detail is too small, or any moment that you want to take a snapshot up with your hand. That's the beauty of it. This is your hand putting what's important to you right now in your book. Your book can be public, and maybe it's handed down in your family, or maybe it's just for you, and it's between your mattress and the box spring, and nobody gets to see it. You get to decide. Here's a picture in a book of a book being presented by, I forget who's doing the presenting, but it's the Little Red Book is a treatise on queenship being presented to the Queen of France, the new Queen of France. And I guess it's a book about how to be a queen. Only you know how you'll make your grimoire sacred and holy. I pulled out this picture because I thought it was fun. You guys have your cats, and this person has their bird helping as they're writing in their book. Um, uh, Something you can do is invoke your ancestors or a hero that helps you in your process while you're creating. You can call in someone from another realm to create an atmosphere around you while you're working in your book. And that brings in these other dimensions as part of the process. Do you have a creative guide? Your creativity saint? There's mine. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to do it quickly, so we're not going to think all about it. Um we're gonna get playful. I'm going to stop this. And so I want you to if you can, great. If you can't, if you need to work, that's fine too. You could do this later if you want. So just take a nice breath with all of us together. Welcome to our group, and imagine those roots coming down through your feet and let them reach down to the center of our planet, down through the rocks, around the rocks. Maybe your roots can feel it getting warmer as you approach the center. You can feel the Madame Pele energy of our molten metals. And now, the next time you inhale, pull some of that warmth and the magic up your roots, and let it mingle with your heart, or maybe your solar plexus, your sun. And then open your crown and remember that the stars are always above us, sending their magic down to us. So welcome the star magic from above, from the center of the cosmos, down through your crown. And let those sparkles from the stars mix with the warmth of the center of the earth in your center or your heart, wherever it feels good to you. Maybe it's in your throat. Maybe it's at your root. And now that you've called our planet and the cosmos in, open yourself to the realms around you. Remember that you're not only three-dimensional, you are multidimensional. And your awareness can cross time and space. You can actually go anywhere as any element. You can go anytime as any creature, as any force. So, with your eyes closed, with access to these other realms, ask for your creativity saint to come to me, show yourself to me, come and be my creativity partner, and allow something, someone, some creature, some element to come to you. Maybe it's obvious, and maybe you just are getting a whiff, a taste, a sense. Allow them near you and greet them. And then ask them, will you create with me? Will you add your ancestral cosmic magic with me to my book? And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes and write down what you may have heard. And maybe you need more time to receive, and maybe not. Whatever happened is perfect. And so, to go along with this creativity saint, I thought maybe we could write a little invocation that you could use, just a short little spell, each time you want to come and create in your book. So let's write a prayer together. Grab your paper, and working with your creativity saint, if you received one. We're going to do this sort of quickly so that our brain doesn't have time to dominate and choose and decide and be really bossy. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is use your salutation, use a strong salutation, call in the energy. Hail, wind, dear mother, holy John Lennon, my dearest starlight, blessed Inanna. What is it that you're greeting? What feels good to you to call them in? The first thing that comes to you, make it powerful. And now, something powerful about them. What do you see them bringing to you? Are they full of stars? You are all that's good. You contain the night. You are filled with knowing. What is it that they bring to you? A huge basket of this that you're wanting. So you've called in the energy, and now you're asking for what it is that they bring to you. And once you've internalized this gift, this huge basket of everything from them, what is it that they've given to you? You are my inspiration. You comfort me. You're filled with color. You surround me with your magic. You bring me wonder. Shine your jewels upon me. So what is it that they're giving to you? Once it's in your body, you give me power. I feel power. And then the next thing we're going to do is you're going to flesh out their power in partnership with you. So name them and expand on their significance. Mother with your many eyes. John with your endless creativity. Blessed is your loving magic. Blessed are the changes you bring. Holy are your insights. Bright are your colors. And you can borrow any of those. If anything resonates, just write it down. And then you're going to kind of bring it home. Guide and protect me. Be with me through my creation time. Alight me with your fire. Be with me now. Be direct. Swaddle me in your roots. That was a line from one of Becca's prayers. And then use something like the phrase, so that it may be, or so that I may something, so that I may be the artist I was meant to be, so that I may bravely live my witch life. So that I may add your color with mine to the world around me, so that I may sing like never before, so that I may remember my magic. So right now you probably have bullet points or phrases, and you get to be a poet now. You are the creator. Pull those together into an invocation and a spell. Do some editing. So we've called them, call in the energy of them. We've named something powerful about them that appeals to you. We're naming what the power is that they give when you partner with them. You're asking them for their guidance in some way. And then you're closing, so that I may, whatever it is. Don't don't do double takes. Don't water it down. Leave it powerful. Don't judge it. It comes from another place. You're using everyday tools, but you're allowing the magic to stay in those words that came to you. You're trusting that that's going to serve you if you choose when you open your book to create in it. And when you feel finished, we can share these if you'd like after I turn off the recording. And I'm going to put the share back on because I want to show you a couple of the updates we have just in two people's books. Mayor Totten's magic really stepped up this last week. Look at this wheel of the year. Holy cow. I just think that this is so special, and it's such an opportunity. And if we want to do this, maybe together as a group, we certainly can, to put our own imagery in the wheel. I think this is just endlessly inspiring. And then she took a visual medicine piece and drew the labyrinth on top of it. Holy cow. So now, talk about combining different dimensions. Mary Ellen, do you want to say anything about either of these? You don't have to.
Well, I'm super excited and in love with this because um, at some point, maybe in the summertime, I asked Kathy I told Kathy how much I loved her Mary Magdalene images and asked her if she'd ever done a picture or portrait of Yeshua. And I think you suggested, Kathy, that we both do a
Hmm.
visual medicine session with him in mind. And that's where this came from, that series. And then I I was just looking at them, and this was actually telling me to draw a labyrinth on top of it. Like I couldn't not do it. And then I did it, um, and then I walked it. It's just it's got layers and layers of meaning for me. It actually is bringing tears to my eyes talking about it. So I'm still exploring it, and I highly recommend doing something like this.
Hmm.
Um, with our, we all know how to draw a labyrinth. Um, Superimposing it on something special. I mean, ask it and it will tell you. And then the wheel of the year, I just had the idea that I wanted to put it in my astrology journal and in my grimoire, and I couldn't find one that had everything on it that I wanted. So I decided to make my own, and I went for it.
I think it's a great idea. I'm thinking about because I really want to do this. I'm wondering if what if I came up with the lines, the all those circles and sent it to everybody and then you could fill it in. Um, I think I'm going to do that anyway, using this as I'm going to do it for myself, using this as the basis. And then I would like to come up with my own symbols because
Yeah.
I've never really lived this before. I aspire to, but I haven't. Um, so we can do it together, or send me a message if you want. I can send a PDF of the shapes that can be colored and filled in, or printed on fabric like this. The only other image that I received was Becca's. Becca, do you want to talk about this again?
Sure. So what I loved about this is I am not what I would classify an artist when it comes to pencil, pen, paintbrush, anything along those lines. And so this was just a printout of an AI sketched image. And I feel like it made it really accessible for me just to do a color wash on it and make it look artistic and pretty and I won't say professional by any stretch, but I was happy with the results. And it was just like 30 minutes of playing around with some watercolors. And it was just on a piece of copy paper. And I just kind of aged it a little bit. And so I felt like it made it accessible to me, where it would have felt really intimidating if I was like, I'm going to sketch an owl and then watercolor it. And it's going to look so great. It would just look like a little stick figure in my book. And so this just felt like it made it easier for me to access and less overwhelming because I'm just starting to learn and explore paint as a medium. And I haven't put as nearly as much time into it as I would like to. So it was just kind of a fun, it's just a piece of copy paper. It's not even on watercolor paper or anything, but I was
That's what
happy with
it's
it.
about. That's what it's about. It's powerful and it's really beautiful. And you use what you have. I mean, part of what we're doing is think about these old books that I showed you the pictures of. Those pages are made out of, sometimes animal skins or plant materials, right? We use what we have. And and it also that tells a story also. So yeah, no, never any apologies for what something is. I, when we make it also too precious, now it's could shift into the commodity realm, and we don't want to do this. This is reality mixed with our magic, and this is the perfect example. These three pieces here, from Meritot and Becca, I think they're just incredible. And so thank you for posting and sharing them so that we could share them with everybody. I'm going to stop the recording now. Oh, no, I almost just ended the meeting. If I ever do that, I'll come back on. It could easily happen.